Hello everyone, this video is about how to create a spider chart or radar chart or a spider web. Something like this. For this radar chart, we have only one item, only one trace added to this chart. Or we could have more than one item or one trace, like 2, 3, something like this that we can see here. So let's go ahead and see the data file first. It is very important to have a good understanding of the data file. So in this data file that you can see, we have 3 items. I just made up this data file. These numbers are just made up. So we have 3 items for illustration purposes. So we have 3 items: cars, trucks, trains, and then we want to see the environmental impact of each, like on air, water, soil. So I call them parameter 1, parameter 2, up to 9. We have exactly the same style for Europe, America, and then you can see in different tabs. So our first task is to add one trace that is for cars to our spider chart, and then after that we will add 3 traces for 3 items that we have here. So let's go ahead, and then I have written the code, and then I will go through the code line by line, and then I will explain everything. So import pandas, because I would like to have a data frame, and then I will be using plotly. So using pandas, we can read the Excel sheet, and then as I showed you, Asia is in the first sheet, right? So sheet name must be 0. So the name of the data file is just data, and then it is Excel sheet, and then sheet name is 0, which is for Asia. So we will print to see, to make sure that we are reading the correct portion in the data file. Okay, so I have done this before. You can try and to make sure everything is fine. So we have 3 items: cars, trucks, trains, and then to actually start creating this radar chart. So first of all, we need to have an empty chart. So that's why I start with go.Figure. This gives me an empty radar chart. So to this radar chart, I would like to add one trace. That's why I put this line, figure add underline trace, and then I use go.Scatterpolar. It is polar because it is not a linear thing, so it's a polar style. So 2 important inputs for go.Scatterpolar is the following. The first argument must be numbers, the second argument must be the parameters. So when I want to read the first column in this data file, so the first column in this data file is the parameters. So I put df, which is data frame.ilook, and then when I put 0 here, it reads the first column, and then this is my properties, and then so the values, I should read the second column, which is for cars. That's why I have put right 1 here, and then which is for R, and then this gives us the numbers, the values. And so what is the name of this trace? As I said, this is for cars, so this is items 0, which is items 0. We can see in this list it is cars. Okay, so let's run it and see what we get. So at the end we should put fig.show, so we will get something like this, right? So in order to make it look better, the very first thing is we need to have a way to close this line. This is number 1. Number 2, maybe you would like to have like a title, you want to add like a legend, and then maybe you want to change like the style, the font size, and then font style for parameters 1, 2, 3. And another thing is that, as you can see, it exceeds 1. You see, it exceeds 1, and some people don't like it. So how can we make it up to 1, like 0 to 1, so that we don't have this extra margin? And another thing I would like to do is that but this style, this radar chart, is a circular one. Some people like it, but some people like it to be a polygon. So I will show you how to make these changes. Okay, the very first thing is to close this line. We simply add, so we go to our data file and then we just copy and paste the first line. So we add only one data point and save it. So that this closes this line. Okay, so let's go ahead and then do other things. So let me activate these lines. Okay, the very first thing is, you know, if you like this area to be shaded, to be colored, so with the same color like blue, we just we update this trace by adding fill to self, which means that it makes this area blue, like the same color. And then we would like to show the legend. So update underline traces, show legend true. Okay, so the next thing we would like is, we would like to add a legend and title to this chart, right? So we are gonna update the layout. It means that we are gonna add a title and then a legend to this layout. So let's go ahead. So update the layout and then this legend. So we should give the information for the legend. And then we can use a dictionary here, as you can see. And please be careful when you are using dictionary, you know, it is not like equal sign. So be careful so that you don't get error. So the font size, I decided that to be 15, font weight to be bold. And then X and Y is the location of the legend. So where would you like the legend to locate, to be placed? So when X is 0.5, it is in the middle. So I would like somewhere here. So by try and error, I found a good place. You know, X is 0.8 and then Y is 0.96. You can try different numbers, you know, to see how things change. The same goes for title. So what would you like the title to be? So the title is for Asia for the first one, because the first tab was for Asia. And then the font size, I decided to be 30 and then bold. And then we know X and Y, which is 0. So the title, we would like the title to be in the middle. So 0.5 and Y is 0.96. Very good. And so let's go ahead and work on the chart. So as I said, some people like the grid shape to be a polygon, so we use linear. If you like it to be circular, just put circular. That's it. And we would like to see here how to change the font size and the style for these parameter 1, parameter 2. So we use this command, angular axis tick font. So we would like the size to be 14 and then weight to be bold. And let's go ahead and make other modification. So as I said before in the beginning, I would like this chart to be from 0 to 1. So again, we update polars and then the radial axis range is from 0 to 1. And then we would like this tick to be 0.2, so only like a step size to be 0.2. Up to 1, so that's why we put radial axis d tick to be 0.2. And then another thing is that, you know, we would like to see these numbers 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, and then so radial axis underline show tick labels to be true. So let's go ahead and then, you know, the last thing is the template. How would you like the inside to be? Would you like it to be gray? Would you like it to be like clear? So it's your decision. So you can choose a template. So let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. So you see, we have a polygon, we have this title, and then we have this legend. And you see the line is closed just now, and then parameters are more readable now. So it looks good. So at least we know how to make changes. And so now let's go ahead and find a way to add 3 traces, because here we have only 1 trace. Let's go ahead and add 3 traces. So I have already written, let me deactivate this, and then activate this one. So when we want to have 3 traces, we would like to have 3 traces, so we must have this command 3 times. So I use a for loop, and then for I in range 3, so I is 0, 1, 2, and we go ahead. And so this is in fact the properties, which is column 1. That's why I put 0. It doesn't change. Parameter 1, 2, 3 up to 9. And then these are the numbers. So as you remember, when I is 0, it is 1, and then it is for cars, and then trucks and trains. And the name of each trace is going to change, based on this list that we have introduced here. Now let's go ahead and run this. So this adds 3 traces to our spider chart. Let's go ahead and see. So this is what we get. Okay. Some people may like to have these 3 traces in 3 different separate spider charts. Like they would like to see 3 of them in a row. For this purpose, we should use subplots that I will create another video, and then I will explain that. So to be honest, this was my very first video that I have created on YouTube and posted on YouTube. So if you have any suggestion or comments or whatever, so you are very welcome to leave a comment. Thank you and have a lovely day.